Hi everyone, Jeff Watson here with a oft requested training that we're going to break into several different video recordings here, but it has to do with what I call the care, love, handling, and feeding of land trusts. I've gotten a lot of people ask me about land trusts, and some of this goes all the way back to the days in 2007 when I wrote something called Death of the Land Trust in Short Sales. If you remember what I said at the very beginning of that, in fact, let me see if I can show that to you. Here it is right here, Death of the Land Trust in Short Sales. You will note that I actually make the comment in there about how I really like land trusts and that they have their purpose, okay? And most investors, don't understand land trusts, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with this particular product and with this particular training. So that's why we're going to talk through a series of videos about the care, feeding, and so on of a land trust. Now, I could have done it this way, to where I made it easy for you, and I could have put up a slide with the key terms that I wanted to cover in this introductory video. But I don't feel like doing that, because if you write this down, if you actually engage physically in addition to mentally while doing this, so if I can get your mind, your ears, your eyes, and your hands involved, you're going to learn a little bit better. So let's cover some very important things right up here in this very first box that we're talking about here, okay? I'm just going to turn this box blue, and we're going to refer to it as the blue box, okay? A land trust must be in writing. It has to be a written agreement. That's absolutely fundamental. The way we keep track of land trusts is by two things: how we title the land trust and the date that the written document is signed. So the first thing that we've got here is the blank date of the month and then the year. This is key information, okay? You absolutely have to do this. Now we've set the next part of this up very simplistic, because we've set it up by and between blank and blank as grantors and beneficiaries. This is formatted in such a way so that the person who is establishing the trust remains also the beneficiary. The person who establishes the trust is the person who creates the trust and puts an asset into the trust. In this particular instance, that's why we call them the grantor. The grantor could also be the settlor or the founder or the establisher of a trust, but we'll use the word grantor because they're creating the trust and they're putting an asset, a piece of real estate, into the land trust. Land trusts are specific revocable trusts designed for one purpose: to hold and manage title to real estate. So we have the grantors and the beneficiaries. We set this up to where it's multiple owners. Quite often it's a husband and wife. It may be something other than that. You're going to have to edit it accordingly, okay? And then also concludes any successor beneficiaries and interest. Now this gets to be a complicated topic that we'll talk about in detail later on, but I want to let you know, just because somebody's a beneficiary now in a trust doesn't mean that they will always be a beneficiary. If the grantor beneficiary, one of the two of them, passes away, they may in the trust document designate successor beneficiaries or contingent beneficiaries. The other key thing that you must know about a trust is that in addition to having a written agreement, in addition to having someone who sets up the trust, you must have a trustee. Absolutely crucial. Okay? So right here in this line here that the cursor's hovering over right now is where we're going to identify the trustee. The trustee could be an individual. The trustee in many instances can be a trust service company. In some states it could be an LLC or a corporation. But you have to check to see what's permitted in your state. There are a couple of states that require that trustees be individuals, not entities. So then we have as John Doe as trustee of the, and this is where we name the trust right here, of the 4321 Main Street Land Trust, okay, whose address is, and this is where we give the address of the trustee. The trustee's address is extremely important because the trustee is going to be the person receiving all future notices and communication regarding this piece of real estate. Okay, and then we've got language here which refer to as the trustee, which designation shall include all successor trustees. We're going to talk about that importantly. Okay, so this is folks, this first paragraph, you either get it right and when you do it in here, or you get it wrong and you've screwed the whole thing up. So if you're any way confused about any of this, this is where you have to pause the video, go back to the beginning of the video and go through it again, because it's absolutely crucial that you understand that we have to date the trust, we have to name the trust, we have to identify who is creating the trust, be it one person, 2 people, 5 people, and we also have to give the name of the trustee and how do we find the address of the trustee. So the trustee becomes the front person whose name and address is out there. The beneficiaries fade into the background and become private. And that's one of the key advantages to a trust. And then we have also the key thing here that we've got real estate needs to be put into the land trust. And that takes us right in here to the next category, which is what I'm going to start talking about next in the next short little video. I'm going to break these things up in short little videos. Hang in there with me, folks. Look forward to talking to you soon. Peace.